Each activity of the manager in the organization is a reflection of his decision-making process. They may be a routine one, but they could still affect the present and the future of the organizational performance, and it requires years of systematic analysis. But management is always a decision-making process. In this lesson, we are going to study the various aspects of managerial decision-making. After studying this lesson, we would be able to understand the types of managerial decisions, analyze the decision-making process, examine the importance of a decision, and analyze the decision-making situations. Managerial decisions may be programmed as well as non-programmed. Programmed decisions are concerned with relatively routine and repetitive problems. Information on these problems is already available and can be processed in a pre-planned manner. For example, if an employee is habitually a latecomer, he can easily be dealt with under the established procedure. Under programmed decisions, the solutions are basic and procedural and hardly require any judgment. Obviously, such decisions are usually made by lower-level executives. Non-programmed decisions deal with unique or unusual problems. Such novel or non-repetitive problems cannot be tackled in a predetermined manner. There are no ready-made answers for such problems. Therefore, high degree of executive judgment and deliberation is required to solve them. Location of plant, takeover of a sick mill, opening of a new branch, development of a new product, etc. are examples of such decisions. These decisions are generally made by managers high in the organizational hierarchy. Managers also have to make proactive and reactive decisions. Proactive decisions are those made in anticipation of certain changes in the external environment, while reactive decisions are those taken as a result of changes happened in the environment. A manager has to beware while making a proactive decision, because it may occur that such a decision was taken for an imagined problem. In such a case, the decision can result in a disaster and unsuccessful decision. Similarly, if a reactive decision is taken late enough, it may result in the competitor getting a stronger foothold in the market. Also, there are basic decisions and routine decisions, between which the former require a good deal of deliberation, while the latter, as the name suggests, are repetitive in nature, and they involve the application of familiar principles to a situation. Intuitive and systematic decisions under which a manager either goes by gut feeling or approaches the problem to take a decision in a step-by-step and analytical fashion. The managerial decisions may also be policy decisions and operative decisions. Policy decisions involve change in strategy, while operative decisions are concerned with routine work. Decision-making is a 6-step process. The stages can be summarized as identifying and diagnosing the problem, generating alternative solutions, evaluating alternatives, choosing the best alternative, implementing the decisions, and evaluating the results. As you can see, the first stage of decision making is identifying and diagnosing a problem or opportunity. A problem may include a high level of employee turnover, a reduction in firm profit, low quality finished goods, etc. Once a problem has been recognized, the decision maker begins to look for causes of the problem. The second step is to generate possible solutions to the problem based on the perceived causes. Some problems can be solved using programmed solutions, while the novel situations require non-programmed decisions because there are no policies or procedures available to provide direction. The third stage requires the decision maker to examine the alternative solutions using a set of decision criteria, which should be related to the performance goals of the organization. The next stage of decision making is the selection of the best alternative by either optimizing or satisfying. Optimizing involves selecting the best alternative from among multiple criteria. Putting the alternative solution into practice and making sure it works is the next step of decision making. Implementation requires the decision maker to put the solution into practice, because without implementation, decision making remains simply an intellectual exercise. The final stage in the decision making process is to evaluate the results. Decision makers gather information and try to learn if the implemented decision achieved its goals. The availability of accurate and timely information and feedback permits the decision maker to make a thorough evaluation and to determine whether modifications are needed. This slide shows the problem of a plant manager who is bogged by the increase in employee turnover and how he finds a successful solution to the problem. Friends, let's check our progress now. Can we give example of each kind of decision that a manager makes? One example of a program decision is managing human behavior, and non-program decision is increase in wage rate. Similarly, an example of proactive decision is reduction in price in anticipation of higher competition, and reactive decision is reduction in prices following the competitor. Ways to increase market share is an example of basic decisions, while placing orders with suppliers is an example of routine decisions. Ways to handle conflict is an intuitive decision, and ways to position product is an example of systematic decision. Repositioning of a brand is an example of a policy decision, while strengthening the brand image is an operative decision. Now suppose a company is faced with low market share. As a manager, what decisions will we take? Can we show it through a process? Well, as a process, the first thing would be to see the problem, which would be that the market share has decreased. In such a situation, the only formidable solution seems to reposition the brand or go for extensive sales promotion. Repositioning the brand is both risky and time and cost ineffective. On the other hand, if we see another option, sales promotion is relatively less risky and more cost effective. Also, repositioning might take time and involve huge costs, so go for attractive sales promotions. For this, we would have to coordinate with top level managers and promotion head to make a sales promotion plan. Consequently, after a few months, market shares would definitely begin to rise. Managers making the decisions are responsible for making sure that their actions and decisions do not create public opinion, demands and policies that threaten the enterprise and its growth and success. The importance of the decision taken by managers is increased also because they make a strategic and primary step in management planning, form public opinions, demands and policies that is linked directly with the growth, help in managing resources effectively, and require very little time. In fact, time management plays a crucial role in a manager's life. Effective time management reduces the investment of time and energy in time wasters like television, unnecessary meetings, etc. Helps in planning and schedule effectively, prioritizes the work and sets deadlines, and assists in doing more productive work. Unlike individuals, managerial decisions, group decisions are those taken by a group of persons. Decisions taken by board of directors or committee are a few examples of group decisions. Group decision making generally results in more realistic and well-balanced decisions and encourages participative decision making, but also involves delay and making it difficult to fix responsibility for such decision. That is why it results in more realistic and balanced decisions, increases cooperation and coordination between groups, and fosters creativity, but may lead to a conflict between members. Group decision making comprises of various techniques like attribute testing, where all attributes of a problem are listed and modified and then evaluated. Brainstorming, where a group of people face a problem and seek the suggestions. Synectics, which is similar to brainstorming, but the group is given only a brief about the problem. Nominal group technique, which helps generate ideas while letting group members think independently. And Delphi technique, which facilitates decision making by people who are not physically together. We've already seen that there can be varied information and decision making situations. There can be situations of certainty, risky and uncertainty. Under the situations of certainty, complete information is available. That is why it is a situation of certainty. Reliability and predictability of the information is high and the probability of results is known. Under the situation of risk, adequate information is available. Reliability and predictability of the information is moderate. The probability of the result is fairly known. And as you can see in the last column of the table, under the situation of uncertainty, no information is available. Reliability and predictability of the information are low and probability of the result is not known. Giving a brief revision to the lesson, we have learned that decision making is very critical and primary task of management. It is a goal-oriented, continuous and dynamic process. Decision making is also ubiquitous and permeates every step in management process. Thank you.